The text from my mother came at 6:47 p.m. on a Thursday. Family dinner tomorrow night. Your sister has exciting news. Don't be late. I almost didn't go. Thursday family dinners had become performances lately. My sister Vanessa announcing her latest business venture while everyone applauded, my father offering strategic advice, my mother beaming with pride. I usually sat quietly, ate quickly and left. But Mom's text had that edge. The kind that said this is mandatory, not optional. So Friday at 7, I walked into my parents' dining room to find champagne already poured, my father grinning, and Vanessa practically vibrating with excitement. There she is. Vanessa jumped up to hug me. Perfect timing. We were just about to toast. Toast what? I took my usual seat, the one facing the window overlooking their garden. My father raised his glass. To Vanessa's investment fund. She's closing her first major capital raise next Friday. Congratulations, I said automatically. I'd heard about this fund for 6 months. Vanessa's plan to invest in emerging tech companies, be the next big venture capital name, make millions. The final piece just fell into place, Vanessa said. She was glowing. I needed $920,000 to hit my minimum fund threshold. And I found it. My mother refilled everyone's glass. Tell her the clever part. Vanessa leaned forward. You know how we've all been worried about the lake house sitting empty? It's a waste really. None of us use it anymore and the property taxes are ridiculous. So I listed it. My hand froze halfway to my glass. You listed what? The lake house. I got an incredible offer. $920,000. The buyers are a couple from Denver, cash deal closing next Friday. It's literally perfect timing. I set my glass down carefully. Vanessa. I own the lake house. She waved her hand dismissively. Technically yes. But it's a family asset. We all grew up there. And you never use it. I was there last weekend. For like one night, Vanessa said. You can't let $1 million property sit and use just because you occasionally feel nostalgic. That's not good asset management. My father jumped in. We talked about this as a family, Amanda. The consensus was that selling makes sense. Vanessa needs the capital, the buyers are eager, and frankly you're not in a position to buy us out anyway. Buy you out of what? My voice stayed level. I'm the sole owner. My name is the only name on the deed. My mother's smile tightened. Your grandmother left it to the family. You just happen to be the one whose name is on the paperwork. Grandma Rose left it to me, I said. Specifically to me. In her will. I have the probate documents. Vanessa sighed like I was being difficult about something trivial. Look, I've already signed the listing agreement. The buyers have done their inspection, everything came back clean and we're scheduled to close in 8 days. The earnest money is already in escrow. Who signed the seller's documents? I did, Vanessa said. As family representative. The title company was fine with it once I explained the situation. I pulled out my phone. Opened my document storage. Found the deed recorded 3 years ago when Grandma Rose's estate closed. Owner, Amanda Christine Reeves. Solo and separate property. I turned the phone toward them. There is no family representative. I'm the sole owner. You can't sell property you don't own. My father's voice took on his attorney tone. He'd been a corporate lawyer for 30 years before retiring. Amanda, property held in family trust operates differently than individual ownership. Your grandmother intended for the lake house to benefit the entire family. It's not in a trust, I said. It's in my name. Individual ownership. The informal family trust, my mother clarified. The understanding that certain assets are held for the collective good. That's not a legal entity, I said. That's just something you made up right now. Vanessa started pacing. Her pitch voice came out, the one she used with investors. Okay, let's look at this practically. I need this sale to close. I've promised my investors I'd hit the fund minimum. If I don't, I lose 6 months of work and $50,000 in legal fees. You don't need the house. You live in a condo in the city, you work 70 hours a week, you barely take vacations. Letting this sale go through is the right thing to do. For you, I said. Not for me. For the family, my father corrected. Vanessa's fund succeeds, she builds wealth, that wealth supports the family. Your grandmother would have wanted us to use family assets strategically. I stood up. I need to make a call. My mother's voice followed me out. Don't make this difficult, Amanda. We're trying to include you in the decision. I stepped onto their back patio and called the number on the listing Vanessa had shown me earlier. I'd memorized the brokerage name. Summit Realty Group. A woman answered. Summit Realty, this is Diane. Diane, my name is Amanda Reeves. I own the property at 847 Clearwater Ridge. I understand you have it listed for sale. Pause. Yes, we do. Beautiful property. Are you calling about a showing? I'm calling because I'm the owner and I didn't authorize this listing. Long silence. I'm sorry, Diane said slowly. I spoke with Vanessa Reeves multiple times. She provided documentation showing family trust ownership. She signed the listing agreement as trustee. There is no family trust. I'm the sole owner. Vanessa has no authority to sell this property. Miss Reeves, we have a buyer in contract. They're scheduled to close in 8 days. If there's an ownership dispute. It's not a dispute, I said. It's fraud. I need you to cancel this listing immediately and notify the buyers that the seller doesn't have authority to convey the property. I need to call my broker, Diane said. Can you hold? No. Have your broker call me at this number within the hour. And send me copies of every document Vanessa signed. Especially the trust documentation she provided. I hung up and called my attorney. Linda Vasquez had handled Grandma Rose's estate. She knew exactly what I owned and how I owned it. She answered on the second ring. Amanda. What's wrong? I explained in 3 minutes. Vanessa listing my property. Claims a family trust. Buyers in contract. Linda let out a breath. First, send me the listing information and broker contact. Second, I'm filing an emergency motion Monday morning for a temporary restraining order preventing any sale. Third, we're sending cease and desist letters to the brokerage, the buyers, and the title company. Will that stop the closing? It'll stop everything, Linda said. No title company will ensure a sale with active litigation and ownership disputes. The buyers will walk. Linda, I don't want to hurt innocent buyers. The buyers will be disappointed. But better now than after they've wired $920,000 for a property the seller can't legally convey. Your sister created this mess. She needs to face the consequences. After we hung up, I called one more person. Patricia North, Senior Vice President at Heritage Title Company. I'd worked with her on a commercial real estate deal 2 years ago when I was still practicing law. We'd grabbed coffee a few times since. Professional acquaintances verging on friends. She answered immediately. Amanda. How are you? I need your professional opinion on something urgent. I explained the situation. Patricia's voice went cold. What's the title company handling this transaction? I don't know yet. The broker is supposed to call me back. Find out and call me immediately. Because if someone at a title company accepted trust documents without verifying the trust actually exists, they've violated about 15 underwriting standards. We take fraudulent conveyances very seriously. Even if it's family? Especially if it's family, Patricia said. That's where most deed fraud happens. Someone thinks family connection equals ownership rights. It doesn't. My phone buzzed. Diane from Summit Realty. I told Patricia I'd call her back. Miss Reeves. Diane sounded stressed. My broker wants to conference in the title company. Can you join a 3-way call? Yes. He patched me through. A man's voice joined. This is Gerald Morrison, broker at Summit Realty. And we have Tom Chin from Keystone Title on the line. Amanda Reeves, I said. The actual property owner. Tom spoke first. Miss Reeves, I have your deed pulled up right now. You're correct, you're the sole owner of record. No trust listed, no co-owners. Can you explain what documentation Vanessa Reeves provided claiming trust authority? I can't, I said, because I never created a trust. My grandmother left me this property individually. It went through probate 3 years ago. Everything is recorded with the county. Gerald cleared his throat. Tom, I'm looking at the documents Vanessa submitted. There's a trust agreement dated 2 years ago, signed by Amanda Reeves as trustor, naming Vanessa Reeves as successor trustee. I never signed any trust agreement, I said. There's a notary seal, Gerald said. Then it's forged, I said flatly. Tom, I'm requesting you halt this transaction immediately pending a fraud investigation. My attorney is filing for a TRO on Monday. Tom's tone went professional. Miss Reeves, if you're alleging the trust documents are fraudulent, I need to see proof of your identity and ownership. Can you come to our office tomorrow morning with your driver's license and original deed? Absolutely. And bring any documentation showing no trust exists. I'll bring the probate file. But Tom, the burden of proof isn't on me to prove something doesn't exist. It's on Vanessa to prove the trust does exist. Agreed, Tom said. But I want to close this loop quickly. The buyers have sold their home in Denver. They're supposed to close next Friday. If we're canceling this sale, they need maximum notice. We scheduled for 9 a.m. Saturday. After we hung up, I called Patricia back. Keystone Title, I said. Good company, Patricia said. Tom Chin is solid. He won't proceed if there's any question about title. He wants me to come in tomorrow with documentation. Go. Bring everything. And Amanda? Document this entire thing. Every conversation, every email. Vanessa forged your signature on trust documents. That's not just civil fraud. That's criminal. I walked back into my parents' dining room. Vanessa was showing Mom something on her phone. Probably her fun pitch deck. Dad was refilling champagne glasses. They all looked up when I entered. Sorted? Dad asked. The title company is investigating, I said. I'm meeting with them tomorrow morning at 9. Vanessa's smile faded. Investigating what? The trust documents you submitted. The ones claiming I created a trust and named you as trustee. Those are legitimate, Vanessa said quickly. Then you won't mind if Tom Chin from Keystone Title verifies them. My mother set down her glass. Amanda, why are you being so difficult? Your sister needs this. Can't you just be supportive for once? Supporting her would be loaning her money or helping with investor intros, I said. Not letting her steal my house. It's not stealing, my father said firmly. It's family asset reallocation. Call it whatever you want, I said. It's illegal without my consent. Vanessa stood up, her face flushed. I've worked on this fund for a year. I've given up everything to make this happen. And you're going to blow it up over a house you don't even use. I'm going to blow it up over you forging my signature on legal documents, I said. I didn't forge anything. Mom helped me draft the trust agreement. It's all proper. I turned to my mother. You helped draft a trust agreement for property you don't own? Mom's face went carefully blank. We were protecting family assets. Making sure everything was properly structured. By creating fake documents? They're not fake, Vanessa insisted. You just don't remember signing them. You were probably distracted, working too much like always. I pulled up my calendar app. What date did I supposedly sign these trust documents? Vanessa hesitated. I don't remember exactly. Tom Chin said they're dated 2 years ago. That would be March 2023. I scrolled through my calendar. I was in London for 3 weeks in March 2023. On a corporate merger. I never signed any trust documents because I was out of the country. My father's expression shifted. Just slightly. The lawyer in him recognizing a problem. The documents are notarized, he said quietly. If you were out of the country and the notary seal is real. Then someone forged both my signature and the notarization. I finished. Which is a felony. The room went silent. Vanessa sank into her chair. This can't be happening. My investors are expecting the fund to launch in 2 weeks. If I don't hit the minimum, I lose everything. You should have thought of that before you tried to sell my house, I said. My mother's voice went cold. You're really going to destroy your sister's future over this? Mom, she tried to steal $1 million property from me. She was trying to build something. You're just hoarding assets. I looked at my mother. And my father. At Vanessa, who was crying now. Real tears or tactical, I couldn't tell anymore. These were the people who'd raised me. Who taught me about family loyalty and supporting each other. Who told me blood was thicker than water. They were also the people who just tried to defraud me out of my inheritance. I'm leaving, I said. Nobody tried to stop me. 2 months later. Keystone Title canceled the sale within 48 hours. Tom Chen's investigation revealed the trust documents were entirely fabricated. Wrong notary seal, forged signature, non-existent trust registration number. The buyers from Denver were disappointed but understanding. They found another lake house 20 miles away. Ashley liked it better. Vanessa's investment fund collapsed. Without the $920,000, she couldn't hit her minimum threshold. Her investors walked. Her attorney fees were unrecoverable. The district attorney reviewed the case but declined to prosecute. Family matter, they said. No criminal intent. Even though forging signatures on real estate documents is literally criminal intent. I didn't push it. I just wanted them gone from my life. My parents sent one email. We're disappointed in your unwillingness to be flexible for family. Grandma Rose would be ashamed. I didn't respond. But I thought about it. Grandma Rose had left me that lake house specifically because she knew my family would try to take it. She told me once the summer before she died, they'll tell you it's selfish to keep something just for yourself. But having boundaries isn't selfish. It's survival. I changed the locks on the lake house. Installed a security system. Put up no trespassing signs. Last weekend I drove up alone. Spent 2 nights reading on the dock, swimming in the morning, watching sunsets from the porch Grandma Rose had built. My phone stayed off. No family calls. No crisis texts. No Vanessa asking for just one more chance. Just silence. And lake water. And the house my grandmother knew I'd need to protect. Not from strangers. From family.